Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to Baisley Lanes in Dartmouth. I'm Paul Menia with Bruce Stephen, and this is the number 7 Mixed Candlepin Challenge here on ATV, and it's been an interesting 5 episodes. We're into week 6. This is round 1. We have 2 more shows to go after today's show, and then we're into the second round, and then, of course, on to the semifinals and the finals, and as you heard in the show opening, lots at stake here for the bowlers. We've got some of the best in the Maritimes. Bruce, why don't we go back to the family tree and see how we got up to week 6?
Okay, as we recap, we go back to the very first week, and Mary LeBlanc and Wayne Ingram made it to the second round, the first team, of course, to get there. In week number 2, Veronica Pierce and Barry Brenton made it, and then in week number 3, Kansas Snow hooked up with Bonnie Logan. Great performance there. They, too, move on to round number 2. Week number 4 saw Barb Durling toss a 118 and a 132. Her partner, Scott Freeman, had a 121 and a 109, a 90-pin victory there. They, too, have made it to round number 2. And then just a week ago, it was Lise Beattie and Eves Albert moving on to the second round.
And Lise Beattie had a rough time of it in our last episode. In her third box of the first string, threw a strike. Turns out it was not a strike because we only had 9 pins down. A little error with the machine. And as a result, we had to go back.
Well, what happened was she had to go back and bowl those 2 frames over again, and then she had to bowl her own 2, and she came up with an 8, a 4, a 6, and then a 3. Really put it in her hole mentally as well as on the scoreboard, but they did rebound. A great comeback for Eve and Lise, and they, of course, get to the second round.
That was the flip side. What a nail-biter. Came down to the very last frame. Should be an interesting one today. Let's meet today's contenders. Giselle Arsenault comes to us from York Street in Moncton with a 101 average. Bowls at the Moncton Fair Lanes. Her partner today is Bob Duthright, also from Moncton, bowls at the Fair Lanes with a 122 average. Opposing Duthright and Arsenault today are Trudy Atwell of Dartmouth, bowls at Baisley Lanes with a 104 average. And Brian Dagnall, also from Dartmouth, bowls at the Dartmouth Bowlodrome with a 119 average. They're our contestants today, and we'll get to the action right after these messages.
Is your poor old elbow running out of elbow grease? Then you need the Power Wheel, a modern-day marvel, will not crack or break. Power Wheel attaches to your drill, gives you an armful of sanding power, strips the paint right off. There's a nail, it cuts as well. Amazing! Power Wheel will cut and shape ceramic tile perfectly every time, makes anyone a pro. Slices through Formica and plexiglass with a perfect edge every time. Then goes on to strip metal or rust in one stroke. Isn't that incredible? There's more. With this power sharpener, dull knives become razor sharp in only seconds. Sharpen all your knives, scissors, and tools. Rusty grass shears can be sharpened like new again. But there is still more. 39-piece chrome-plated socket set in standard or metric with ratchet drive and carrying case. A must for every handyman. You get Power Wheel, Power Sharpener, 39-piece socket set, the complete K5 Power Pack, only $19.99. What a value!
Power Pack makes an ideal gift. Available at Eaton, Zellers, Woolco, Towers, Bonamart, Kmart, Stedman's.
They are back.
We've been gone for 4 years, eh? Yeah. You know why? Because we was in training for this moment. I've waited a long time. I've worked hard. Yeah. And now we're finally here at the Olympics to show you what we can do.
A funny thing happened on the way to the Olympics.
Be there.
7 o'clock Wednesday on ATV Cable 8.
Get it now. You don't have to wait and pay nothing till 1988. Now through Saturday only at Madman Murphy's. No money down, no interest, and no payments of any kind for 5 full months. Save on TVs, VCRs, stereos, microwave ovens, and blank tapes. Get them now and pay nothing. No money down, no interest, and no payments of any kind for 5 months. Saturday is the last day. Hurry to Madman Murphy's, 6160 Almond Street. Call 455-5040.
And we are ready to begin week number 6 in the first round of the all-new number 7 Mixed Candlepin Challenge here on ATV. You're looking at Giselle Arsenault. Comes to us from Moncton. York Street, has a 101 average. Bowls at the Moncton Fair Lanes on Mountain Road. And this is the first ball of week number 6. And it's a 6-pin drop, Bruce.
If not all that bad, she has some wood to work with down there. If she can lay the ball, well, we'll have a look at it in a second. Right here, she could be in pretty good shape for a spare to start things up. But, ooh, she got way out to the other side. She was trying to bring that wood across, I guess. Now, Giselle Arsenault, one of the few left-handed bowlers
That's right,
that we're going to see. Yep. We've got Rick Dyer coming up later on. He, too, is a left-hander. He comes up in about a week's time. But that is Giselle Arsenault. And she starts off in fine style. York Street, that's where she calls home in Moncton. Been bowling for only 6 years. Come a long way in a short time. She's a receptionist in the neurosurgery department at the Moncton Hospital. Married, one girl, age 4.5. Not a bad hit there. She's had a 360, a high single of 137, has Giselle. This is a tough one. Those first couple of frames, she's performing quite well. A 10 to open. And she's got two more. Well, a couple of 10s. Good round of applause for Giselle Arsenault as she sits down and gives way to Trudy Atwell from Albor Lake Road in Dartmouth. Trudy's just 19 years of age. Bowls at the Baisley Lanes. Been bowling for 7 years. 10's barred, as Trudy Atwell, like the guy says, the bartender here. He said, I don't know, I never tasted it. But anyway, Trudy's a bartender. Oh, great shot for Trudy Atwell. She gets a great round of applause. And we're going to have another look at that one. That was just a great second.
7 years and
yeah.
Some experience showing there.
Played this perfect. Bang, right there. See the 8-pin go, then the 7. It's a big mark for Trudy to start things up. Let's see what she can get on it. Looks pretty good. Good hit.
Great shot. Right
there.
Wow. What a start for Trudy Atwell of Dartmouth. A tremendous way to get underway.
Well, if you're over in the Albro Lake Road area, that roar you're hearing is coming from the houses from the folks living along there. Their favorite daughter right now, Trudy Atwell, bowling real well. Now let's go to Bob Doothright. Boy, he's got a tough act to follow. Bob Doothright from James Street in Moncton. Bob is 40 years old, bowls at the Fairlanes in Mountain Road. He's been bowling for 20 years. He is a heavy equipment operator. Oh, great try there for Bob Doothright. Comes close.
Ball nearly came back and got that, Bob.
Say hello to the two daughters of Bob Doothright, 16 and 12. Hey, he likes playing poker. He's not bowling. Sounds good to me. He's a good one. 122 is his average. He's had a 445 triple and a 191 single. And he's a member of the T&M team out of Moncton, the provincial champs in New Brunswick. So we can look for big things, perhaps, if it's his day for Bob Doothright.
Tough split there for Bob, and he's going to almost take out the right side. Gets a hit on the 7-pin, but it wobbles and doesn't fall. So he's going to be happy with a 9-box out of this. And in fact, we'll settle for an 8-box in this second frame. So a 10 and a 9 for Bob Doothright, and that brings up Brian Dagnall. Bruce?
Well, Brian, well known in bowling circles around the Maritimes. He is from Cole Harbor Road in Dartmouth. He's been bowling for 30 years.
What a
good
shot
to begin
with
for Brian. 9-pin drop. This guy's got an interesting job, Paul. He's a nail machine operator, makes the nails. Okay? And Savaco Maritime is where he works. Married. One child with another one due around, well, another one due, I guess he says.
Yeah.
Plays softball and he's an umpire.
Nice shot to make it 10. Almost had himself a spare there after that 9-pin drop, but he's going to pick up and go to the left-hand approach and try and improve on that.
Well,
way to get better than 10 is the mark.
Sure, it's an opening frame, so we'll give him that miss. Brian would have liked to have had it. He's had a 469 high triple. That is definitely impressive. And a 181 high single. Well, he's got another single pin here to mark. I just don't think you're going to see Brian miss twice in a row. A little bit of a guide there.
2 9-pin drops in a row for Brian Dagnall, hoping to take advantage of it in this second frame. And he misses again.
Well, one thing Brian doesn't want to do is get down on himself.
That's right.
It's only early. Those things do happen. The big thing is he is getting the first one in there. Use the wood there, picks it up and gets his 10. So, a little explosive action. We've only had 2 pins drop in the first 8 frame. This is Giselle Arsenault back up with a couple of 10s for her to open. Down, left the 4 horsemen. Now a piece of wood coming back. That could take something out.
He's going to touch on the 1 pin and just kind of sidle in between the 1 and the 2.
Question is, what's the angle? That should go straight back and take that pin? I don't think so.
Well,
Like be the
Let's see
problem.
what happens.
Bang.
She's got the 9, but left the head pin.
You had to be on that front pin, no question about that. Or at the back of the wood to turn it away, but she didn't get either. Giselle,
shot on
the
the
wood
nose.
again. Settle for a 9. Very appreciative crowd here at Baisley Lanes this afternoon, Paul.
They know the game.
Yeah. All right.
Giselle going for the 4th frame. 29, 1 under.
Off to the left-hand side a little bit.
This is a 2-string affair, of course.
Yeah. Giselle studying this one. Left-handed, so she'll come into this one.
On the
Good
head pin
ball.
there. Gets the 10, which was a big one to fall. Now,
Everything but the
everything
5.
except the middle.
Yeah.
So here we will get a lesson in accuracy.
Yeah.
Pinning is so important in this game. And it looks to be on target for a 10.
Nice confidence builder there. 3 10s and a 9 for Giselle Arsenault. She goes to 39 for 4 and gives way to Trudy Atwell.
All
Well,
eyes are on Trudy.
spare to open, then a strike in the spare.
She doesn't waste any time on that approach. She just steps up, grabs the ball, and away she goes. Punching through there. Tough split.
Yeah. Give her credit. She got right on the front pin on her strike.
This is the second ball of it, so whatever she gets here counts towards it. And, well, she got a lucky break there and taking 2 out, so count 6 on that strike.
Total of 6. Now she'll work the left-hand side. She'd like to come out of this with a 9. There's the shot. She gets only 1. Comes out of it with a 7. The crowd gets behind her. Very sort of unassuming up there, but you just know the adrenaline is pumping a little bit in the body of Trudy Atwell. 43 now, 13 over. Nice start.
It's a good-looking ball, actually.
Yeah, just
A little off to the right.
Yeah.
First box. Shot.
This is a similar shot to the one she spared up in the opening
That's right.
frame.
Exactly.
This time she just off the front pin.
Good coming back here. Not hard enough to make a difference, but
No.
now she's got some interesting coverage.
Well, she'll come back. She'll want to be right about here and drive that straight back.
That's where she is, Bruce, and leaves the 5 for a 9 box.
All right, Bob Duthright will step up now. A 10, and then an 8. He started off with it. Bob all set. Put it down. Good hit. Leaves a solid 5 pin, though.
I don't know if it's going to take it. No.
Now, wood wrapping around it, but boy, he's got a great setup, but he wants to stay away from the nose of this wood. He wants to be over here in this area somewhere. The nose may be good for him, but oh, it's not. He got right on the nose, and now he's got a single pin for the 10.
Ooh, I hate it when that happens.
I want to show you something here if we can get a shot of it. Watch Bob and how close he is to the ball rack when he starts. I'll have to pan down a little bit. Maybe the boys can get us a shot of it. But watch how close his hand comes to the ball rack.
Yeah.
It's almost as if his hand is going to hit it. He will get another look here. But he is really, there you see it. His hand is almost right over the ball rack. And perhaps we can do that one more time. Good shot. We'll see one more time on the left-hand lane. Nice ball. Okay, let's go to Brian Dagnall now. Oh, well, we've got some fireworks. There's no question about that.
We're off to a great start.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, Brian has left 3 pins standing, the 1, the 3, and the 7. But as you can see, right here, he has the coverage. So if you can split those and drive the 1 over, or get the ball right here and put the ball over, you got flush on the pin.
Yeah, 2 flush.
Brian, couple of 10s to open. Did he play it safe? No, he went for the bundle. Well, a gutsy play, but it's only early. He went for both of them. And has to settle for an 8. Big thing that Brian doesn't want to do is get down on himself at all. He's got things going. Throwing a good ball right now. Just off the front end, but he's left the 4 horsemen. 1, 2, 4, 7 on that side. You can play it 2 ways, of course. You can play that front pin on the left-hand side or the right-hand side.
That's a shot, but it's not going to take him.
Looks like it was good enough to go.
Yeah, it sure did. 4 and the 7 are standing there. He's going to be on the 4 if he can.
Yeah.
Move that 7 over and count 10 on the box. And he does it.
Okay, Okay, that's the end of the fourth frame then. An exciting start, Paul. Boy, you got to be impressed with young Trudy Atwell, only 19 years of age, coming up here under a lot of pressure, and she starts off with the spare and the strike. All four bowlers appeared to be a little bit nervous, but boy, that really helps when you get up there and get the spare and then bang, come through and get the strike on it. Of course, she's playing in front of the hometown crowd here in Dartmouth along with her partner, Brian Dagnall, but you just know that she has to be happy with that. Of course, as far as Trudy is concerned, you hope that it's not going to be a case where you say, well, she started off well, but never got it going after that. Don't want to put the hex on it, though.
That's right. There you see Trudy's marks. And, you know, Bruce, in the 5 episodes we've completed, I don't think we've had that, where a bowler started with a spare followed by a strike in the first 2 frames. Usually it takes them a few frames to loosen up.
Yeah.
And then they find their groove and start performing at the level that we expect them to perform at. And Trudy Atwell, as you say, young girl, 7 years bowling experience. And kind of interesting that neither of these pairs have really bowled together before. So,
absolutely, yeah. But they may be traveling together.
They may be traveling together. Let's talk about the prizes, because they could be going to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil or Amsterdam, anywhere Air Atlantic flies. That's what we're going to be giving our 2 top champions 2 tickets to Rio de Janeiro in Brazil, $1,000 spending money, prize package worth about $15,000. And then for the runners-up, they each get return tickets for 2 to Amsterdam. Beautiful
Emphasize
city.
2 tickets each.
That's right.
Which means they can take somebody with them.
Well, we're panhandling. We're working on it. That's courtesy Canadian Airlines International in partnership with Air Atlantic. $500 to spend once they get to Amsterdam. That's a prize package worth about $8,000. And then third place finishers will each win a trip for 2 plus $250 anywhere Air Atlantic flies. And I'll tell you, I spent my summer vacation traveling through the Maritimes, and I'll tell you, I'll go anywhere Atlantic flies. There are a lot of beautiful places in this part of the country, and that's a fine prize package worth about $2,000 there. And then 4th to 8th, those finishers will receive cash prizes. Yeah. So there's a lot on the line here, a lot at the end of this. We are only into round 1, episode number 6. So this is a 3/4 mark after today's show, and we'll only have 2 to go before we get into the second round. That should be interesting. Okay, that is it for the first 4 frames of the first string. We'll come back with more action after these messages.
Tina Turner is certified gold. The Nylon, certified gold. Miami Sound Machine is certified gold. Dan Seals, certified gold. Mr. is certified gold. Kim Mitchell, Bangles, Glenn Medeiros, Virgil Sharkey, all certified gold from Quality Records. It's in stores now.
The best in the world will be going for the gold in Calgary.
The art of brewing beer is something of a tradition at Alexander Keith's. Today, the tradition lives on. Alexander Keith's Light. We took the time to do it right.
UNICEF cards are known for their beauty and the development projects they support. Join me in helping UNICEF immunize the world's children. Send UNICEF cards.
For a free brochure, call or write UNICEF today.
Margolians, famous for value, famous throughout the Maritimes for quality brand name clothing and footwear for men, women, and children. At Margolians' famous low prices. Save 20% off every item in every department at Margolians' Merry Christmas Sale. 20% off regular priced items. 20% off sale items. 20% off everything. Margolians' Merry Christmas Sale. Because Margolians is famous for value.
And we're back at Baseley Lanes in Dartmouth. Paul Menu with Bruce Stephen commentating on the number 7 Mixed Candlepin Challenge. And it's been a really explosive one so far. This is Giselle Arsenault, 39, 1 under after 4 frames. This is her 5th box. And what a drop. 7 pins with wood coming onto the 7, but it's not going to shake it off the plate.
She has yet to mark, but she's only dropped 1 pin with 3 10s and a 9. She has a tough split here. She'll probably try to put the ball right about there. And kick that pin over, try to get the ball over the wood, but oh, she doesn't do it. Now
almost had the ball come off. And Take some wood.
She'd like to make sure of one of these two pins because this one is shaping up as a real tight battle. If she gets one of those, it might come down to a pin or two. Giselle Arsenault gets her second 9 to go with 3 10s. So she now goes to 48. 4 5 and shifts over to the opposite lane. Doing a little house cleaning there.
Here's the shot. Laid right on the 3-pin. Get some action behind there to get the 7-pin. Wood coming back, as you say, Bruce, but it's not going to figure into it. In fact, it's just going to sit at the back of the plate.
She has to be right on with this one, right about here, and drive that one right back on that pin. But that shot's certainly makeable. Oh, she's way over to the left-hand side. Giselle now will come back. Has to be on the front end. She wants both of these.
Looking for her 4th 10.
Well, she'll take that. She's got 2 there. She goes to 58 without a mark after 6, so she's pinning very, very well. And she sits down and gives way to Trudy Atwell. Now, Trudy really after the great start with the spare of the strike on it, then a 7 and a 9 in 3 and 4. 52 after 4.
I think the most explosive starter we've had in this series with the spare and the strike.
She's nice coverage here on the 9, Paul. So basically what she's dealing with is the 4 horsemen. But she's good.
Got
it. She just missed the 7.
Almost. Boy,
she is certainly putting the ball where she wants it.
Yeah, she's got great accuracy.
Yeah, piece of wood rolling back there. She's going to bowl with that wood on the move a little bit, but she's been told to do that. If it's the 3rd ball, the wood wasn't going to play a major factor. So to speed up the game a little bit, we've asked the bowlers if the wood is not going to be a factor to let her go.
That's on the 3rd ball.
Yeah.
And we're in the left-hand lane, rolling right on the 2-pin, taking out the left side almost, with the exception of that 8. Yep.
She really wanted the 8 because she has some coverage on the 10 between the 6 and the 10.
Would have been a much easier 4 horsemen.
Nice piece of wood here, but she's got to get out here and try to get the 1 back on the 8.
Well, she seems to be right on the 6.
Got too far out to the right-hand side. Now she'll probably play the side of that wood, play the ball in right here, and have a kick over.
She's looking for, but misses
right on the front pin. Well, Trudy sits down after picking up yet another 9, so in 4, 5, and 6, it's 9s for Trudy Atwell. We've got Bob Doothright up again. Now, he's going to bowl in the right-hand lane, but when he gets over on the left-hand lane, we're going to once again see if we can get a shot of his hand and how close it is to the ball rack and how close it is when he lets the ball go. Plays the string. Big strike on the spare for Bob Doothright. All right, let's take another look at this one. It's happening in a hurry. There it is. Bang, bang, bang. You've got the 8 standing. It's now teetering, and it's gone. Bob Doothright. All right, let's see if we can get a look at his hand when he lets go of the ball. How close it is to the ball rack. And I want to tell you, it is close. 8-pin drop there on the strike.
With another to go.
Watch this, Paul. I want to tell you this guy's hand is close.
There you can see it. Yeah. In the middle of your screen, folks. Now at the bottom of your screen. See that? It almost looked like he was going to hit it. And look, he's got it.
There, right on.
Spare. 3 marks in a row for Bob Doothright. Spare.
I want to tell you something, Paul. Around Atlantic Canada, there might be a lot of bruised knuckles because everybody's going to move over close to that ball rack.
Look at that.
It's working great
for
Bob Doothright.
Wood that comes back off the side kick.
Yeah. All right. Now, Brian Dagnall. Good shot. He's got them all.
We're seeing fireworks now, folks.
Well, during the commercial break, Brian was telling us a little down because he figured he'd missed a couple of marks he should have had, and probably he should have. And he's used to making those, but he certainly fought back right there and come up with a big strike, and that is a big one for he and his partner, Trudy Atwell. Let's see if he can pull the double. He's more than capable. Lays it down. Bang, he's got one.
Almost.
Oh. Woo. The crowd getting into this or what?
Not hard to get into it when they're falling like that, folks.
He's got a tailor-made spare that he will not miss this. So he should have the spare on the strike. Lays it down and bang.
Got it. Wow.
Okay, Brian Dagnall says, I feel a little better about that. 4 and 5 through very nicely for Brian Dagnall. And there's fireworks happening here at Paisley Lanes. There's no question about that. And it's nice to see when you get a guy like Doothright, spare, strike, spare, and then Dagnall coming back and evening the count with the strike and then the spare on it. So a lot of good things happening on both sides.
That's
and
right.
it's going to keep this one tight.
As we said earlier, usually it takes a little bit for them to get rolling, but these folks, right off the barrel, they're going. This is what they're going for among those, besides the $26,000 in trips and prizes, the Waterford Croissant. That is a beauty. It has the name of Jerry Harrott and Joan Boyle on it. They were our winners in 1986 in the first #7 Mixed Candlepin Challenge.
You know, and they weren't able to qualify this time around. It's that kind of competition, and that's tough to get in.
That's right. Well, you know that if they're here, they're worthy of being here,
Yeah.
because we've got some very good bowlers there. You see the scoreboard, and look at those marks, huh? This is the first string, folks. Some episodes, it took us until the second string before we had those kind of marks on the board. You see Bob Doothright with the spare, strike, spare, open now on 6. We'll come back to him momentarily. Trudy with the spare and then the strike, and then Brian Dagnall ending this section of our program with an explosion. Strike,
Interesting
and he too
point.
is open on the spare.
Interesting point on this too. Giselle Arsenault, the only one without a mark, but she's only dropped 2 pins through 6
That's right.
frames.
She's showing good pinning. Okay, we're going to come back with frames 7 and 8 right after these messages. Stay with us.
Go over Jeep Cherokee's advantages, and certain things stand out. Cherokee gives you a choice of 2 or 4 doors, 2 shift-on-the-fly 4-wheel drive systems, and an optional 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that's more powerful, far more powerful than anything in its class. But perhaps Cherokee's single biggest advantage is the simple fact that it's a Jeep.
Is your poor old elbow running out of elbow grease? Then you need the Power Wheel, a modern-day marvel, will not crack or break. Power Wheel attaches to your drill, gives you an armful of sanding power, strips the paint right off. There's a nail, it cuts as well. Amazing! Power Wheel will cut and shape ceramic tile perfectly every time, makes anyone a pro. Slices through Formica and plexiglass with a perfect edge every time. Then goes on to strip metal or rust in one stroke. Isn't that incredible? There's more. With this power sharpener, dull knives become razor sharp in only seconds. Sharpen all your knives, scissors, and tools. Rusty grass shears can be sharpened like new again. But there is still more. 39-piece chrome-plated socket set in standard or metric with ratchet drive and carrying case. A must for every handyman. You get Power Wheel, Power Sharpener, 39-piece socket set, the complete K5 Power Pack, only $19.99. What a value.
Power Pack makes an ideal gift. Available at Eaton, Zellers, Wilco, Towers, Bonamart, Kmart, Stedman's.
See it, hear it, we give you all the best Granada.
Now you can buy all the best in brand names at Granada. Whether it's recordable or portable, it's all the best from Granada. Big screen or little screen, you can buy all the best from Granada.
See it, hear it, that's Granada. We give you all the best.
Get a 20-inch Electro Home Color TV, only $5.99, and we'll give you a Sony Walkman absolutely free.
To bowling here at Paisley Lanes in Dartmouth. This is the number 7 Mixed Candlepin Challenge in ATV. You're looking at Giselle Arsenault from Moncton, bowls at the Moncton Fair Lanes and Mountain Road, and has just got herself a 6-pin drop. She's been bowling consistently, Bruce, with 4 10s and 2 9s. This is her 7th frame, and she'd just love to put her first mark on the board here. She's got the 4 horsemen. She wants to be on the front pin, move the other 3 off the map, and that's not going to happen. She gets 2 of 2.
Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with this lady so far. She's pinned very, very well. As you say, the only bowler without a mark, but she's pinned well. She can get 10 here, rather, if she gets on that front pin, because she has, of course, a great coverage on the... Got it, 7, and she gets it. So another 10 for Gilles Arsenault. She now goes to 68 after 7. Boy, I tell you, she'd be a candidate right now for high no mark and just about any league.
That's right.
She can continue this string.
Dropped, but just 2 pins. Yeah. Very impressive, Giselle Arsenault. And she's on the front pin there. She veered off to the 2 and has left 5 standing on the right side.
Well, of course, the problem pin is the one that was on the move there. You just saw it a moment ago sort of wobbling. That is the 9 pin in behind here. That's a tough one to get. It's tough to get a mark on a 2 when it's on the move.
That's right. Well, she's off to the right a little
shot.
bit. Left
She went on the right-hand side. Yep. She got the top one. Left the 5.
Well, now she wants to keep the trend going.
Oh, yes.
2 10s in a row after that 9 and the 5th. She gets this.
Bang, right on it.
Another 10. So
78 without a mark. Great pinning from Giselle Arsenault. As she sits down, gets a little congratulations from this lady, Trudy Atwell, who steps up. Trudy with 3 9s in a row and 4, 5, and 6 bowling here in 7. Oh, good hit. Oh.
Not hard enough.
But not on that. Well, the wood's going to turn away on her.
It's going to fall off the plate on her. I don't know, Bruce. She's got that wood to play with, and that's probably her only option.
Well, she may try to go really down low, ball off the kickback, take the pin, and send that wood all the way over. Let's see what happens.
She's going for the right side.
Oh,
into the gutter.
Yeah. She really had to be right on the gutter there, and it's not surprising to see that ball drop off. Gave it a try. She'll have to come back with a similar shot. There
Now she's on target.
Yeah, had the right idea. Yeah, comes out of it with another 9. That's 4 in a row. So she's pitting well. Had the opening spare and then the strike on it. So she now goes to 79, 9 over.
This girl is gutsy.
Atwell and Dagnall up by 1. Both teams open on spares.